Hi there, here I am doing another video, and this video is going to be about narcissism again. And I don't know what this one's going to be called. Yesterday I had a name for it at the start, I think, but it's going to be about narcissism and healing and awakening, and it all relates, all is connected. Um, Now to start off, I'll talk about what happened to me, and that for just under 10 years I've been going through what was an unexpected spiritual experience. And it's still going on today. The only thing is I've aligned with it. When this unexpected spiritual awakening started, I wanted it to go away, to be honest. I didn't want it around me. I didn't know what I was thinking. One of the thoughts that entered my mind was that this unconditional love that was around me was maybe I was away to die. Because I lived my life very crazy, before this awakening. Um, I would take drugs or whatever. And I remember I even took a drug on the Thursday. I'm not going to say if the drugs were legal or illegal. I'll just say legal. But for example, I took something on the Thursday, and I remember it was over the weekend, but it was still it went on for even now I'm experiencing it. But that's why it took me a while to work out what had happened, because you're thinking, because it was similar to the drug in a way, except this energy that I interact with now is when you deal with a drug, the difference is a drug limits you to the energy of the drug. When you deal with energy, it's limitless. So you can imagine it's a lot more intense than any drug you've ever taken. Drugs are just people that take drugs. Drugs are just a small version of the energies that you can tap into. I've even seen Wim Hof, some of his stuff, and he says that, because our power is limitless. But what I want to talk about the awakening, and what happened was that in awakening, what's happened is your subconscious mind is now aligned with your conscious mind. And it's like an operation, and now because you're open to your subconscious, that's where everything is. That's why in hypnotherapy, the big thing is to get people deeper and deeper into hypnosis, and then you tap into the subconscious. That's why they can access past lives and stuff. So, but in awakening, now that's happened. This is why in spiritual awakening, it's like you become meditation. You become that hypnosis state that you're accessing the subconscious information from. But you're doing a lot of healing. And like I said yesterday in the video, I said that, I've seen so many different cases of it, and so many people online that have went through spiritual awakenings, that do videos on YouTube or whatever, have their own website. I have my own website now, called www.lovelightfamily.com. But I've seen cases where people have went through these experiences, and then what happens is, because you've now awakened to your traumas and unhealed parts, because you're healing these energies and you're interacting with these energies, you'll actually start to attract these kind of people. Now, these could be people in the physical world. They could be people in your family. And the whole point of it is so that you go deeper within. And as what will happen is, what you'll notice is, as I noticed, that these people will be in your reality less and less, because the energy doesn't allow them to be there. See, when energy isn't meant to be there, that's why some people will have a breakup in a marriage, or something, or you have a breakup in friendships. You might even argue and then fall out, because your energy has got to a certain point, and their energy is at a certain point where it no longer fits. You see, and then there'll be some disconnection, and the marriage will have to end, or friendship or whatever. And this is kind of like what I experienced it as well. I'm not going to say in what form and what way, but I experienced this as well, and this is. But there's many cases of this. Many cases of this, and when you're, because you attract your reflections. You see, this is what happened in the awakening. This awakening as well. Everything started to become like a mirror, and everything became like synchronistic, like it was meant to be. That's what happened. And this, because in awakening, you're healing your deep narcissistic traits. That's what's going on. This is why I haven't had depression for nearly 5 years, because all those deep narcissistic issues that was preventing me from anything. You know, these egoic things were hurting me, and I used to be very depressed. I used to get very depressed. I lived my life a certain way, and and we can blame our parents, and our parents are the ones that, when we're born to the world, they're the ones that are feeding us. They're the ones that are telling us what's what. And you could be right in blaming them, but it doesn't help you. And so this awakening showed me to stop blaming outward things and people or family or whatever, and start not blaming yourself, because the reason we blame others is because we don't forgive ourselves. So we look for external things to blame, to validate to ourselves that nothing wrong with us. And there is nothing wrong with you. That's another illusion. We are told that we are mentally ill. We are told that we are mentally sick. But this is the thing, and so in this awakening, it showed me to go within and to start to realize this, to self-forgiveness, and then you start to forgive others. But then what starts to happen is, what happened to me is, you start to become, as you become very into your own energy, you don't want the same kind of energy around you anymore. Right? You're very particular on the kind of energy. You'll start to stop. You won't allow people to drain your energy, or energy vampires around you, or narcissistic people. And I've seen this as well on the internet, and I've even seen videos where people say that the narcissist cannot handle being around a spiritually awakened person. What are they? That's it. They just can't take it, because you're forcing them to face their own issues. Right? Your awakening in your truth, your authenticity, is forcing them to face their problems. Because in awakening, you become absolute authenticity. And that is not what you're really telling yourself, but it's you become the truth. It's like you become this truth, this absolute truth, and it can be very uncomfortable for people, because it's very uncomfortable for people when you're healing like that and they're not. It's very uncomfortable for people when you're growing and they're not, and they feel that they're not, you see. And these narcissistic people can't handle that. And yesterday I made a new page on my website. It's called Narcissism and How to Heal It. I think it's a good page, but I'm the one that made it. And that's the thing about my path. I mean, it's funny, I wanted a website when I first had the awakening, but I had to go through so much stuff, and now was the time to have the website, and I'm very happy with that. And every day what I do in my life is I know why I'm here now. The awakening showed me why I'm here. And we are all here not to argue with each other, not to blame one another, but to help the planet through its awakening process. And you can only do that by having a spiritual awakening yourself. You first need that spiritual awakening. The reason it's so important is because if you haven't had the spiritual awakening, then you're not going to receive these infinite insights and clarities and knowledge until you have that awakening. How do you have an awakening? Well, you have an awakening when you decide that the outward world is an illusion and is designed to hurt you, is designed to program you, and you let go, and you let your inner authenticity lead the way, that divinity power within and in presence. Now, anyone can do it, but you've got to really mean it. But yeah, and that's what's happening. You're as you're awakening more and more. If you're around narcissistic people, for example, like, I don't think my family is really narcissistic. I'm not a psychologist though. But if you're around that, now I've seen stories where people who have had spiritual awakenings, their parents have like kicked them out and stuff because they've been religious and they've had religious beliefs. Now I've not had that situation. Through this awakening, but some people have had that situation, and that's why I'm doing this video, to try and help. And if you're going through something difficult, you just got to let your awakening process lead the way. You've got to just, well, you will, once you have that awakening, you've got this absolute faith. So this is just confirmation of that you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. And this is what comes more apparent as you're going through it. You realize that you start to let go of all fears as well, and anxieties. And this is the reason I haven't had depression since the age of 28. And I'm 33, my birthday. So, a while. But, yeah, there's regarding, as you're healing these inner things, you will attract. If you're healing a certain energy and you're working with a certain energy, a hurtful energy, a narcissistic energy, you'll attract that. The whole point is because everyone is your spiritual teachers. That's why. And they're there to bring out your reflections at the moment you are a certain energy, and you attract what you are, and they're there to bring out these hurtful things or whatever you're healing from at the time. And that is the point why people have good situation, a bad situation, because it's what we're meant to evolve past. Right? That's why whatever situation happens as it happens. It's like this constant duel is working against itself because it is itself. It's one. And that's but by being opposite to each other, you grow and expand yourself as one entity. And that's pretty much what I've been going through since my awakening. And what you'll become is that in awakening, you start to become an observer of situations and people, because you realize that you're observing yourself. You're observing issues within you that need treating. It's like, now I don't get triggered. Now I'm always in meditation, but I have this ability now where I'm able to present a certain emotion that might not seem pleasant to people. Like on the internet, I might do a video, it might be more forceful, but it's not the way I'm feeling. The way I'm feeling at the time will be very meditative. And as soon as I'm finished having that appeared rant, I'm in a meditative state. Why? Because I wasn't feeling how it appeared like I was feeling. Sometimes you have to present things in a more forceful manner. And sometimes that's what I have to do, right, to get the message across. And but it's not the way I'm feeling. I don't get triggered anymore. And the reason I don't get triggered, once you realize that you're not your thoughts, you don't get triggered. And but yeah, this is another video to try and help narcissistic people heal. You heal narcissism by meditating upon it. Meditate upon your egoic emotions, and then you'll get insight and clarity on why they're there and how to heal them. And I'm just going to leave it there, and remember to check out my website for all the latest updates, which is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you for watching and listening.